You know, my 9th grade year, it was a big game here, and Tallassee beat us. I think that was the year they went 13-1.
99, I was in 9th grade.
Going into that 99 game, man, that was one of the best teams Tallassee had come through.
And in 99, obviously we had one of the better teams that we've had, and ended up going to Reeltown and playing against a bunch of young kids.
We were kind of revamping, getting started.
Coming in that game, we were young. We was all 10th graders that year.
They were 10th graders and we were all seniors, and they played us very, very well.
They played us as good as anybody all year in the regular season.
But we knew we had some talent. We weren't scared of nobody.
Those guys were tough, man. They played us, you know, toe to toe.
We knew we had an opportunity to win that game.
Y'all had us right there on the ropes in that game, and that's one of the best teams we've ever had.
They studied us real good.
Tallassee had speed all over the place that year. They just had a really good team.
The errors that we end up stopping them on, we made them pay for.
We were down right before the half.
Junior year, that was the Hail Mary at halftime.
Calling the timeout, and Coach Rose called us over.
Coach Rose always told us, keep the momentum going.
I said, Run's one of the fastest guys, you know, in 4A football. I don't think they got anybody that can catch him. You know, we just talked to Coach Rose and we asked Run, could he run by him? And Run said, yeah. And Coach Rose asked me, could I throw it that far? And I said, I hope so.
I remember that play that Run caught that touchdown.
I remember at that half, we were trying to sack Derek.
Hail Mary type pass.
Did the go, ran past him.
He threw that ball up to Run.
He used his 40-inch vertical and went up and
Run caught it.
Once I caught it and found a touchdown, we got all that momentum back.
Derek threw that Hail Mary to Run at halftime and kind of took us out.
And we kind of had them on the rope. So we had 12-9 right there before Run caught that touchdown pass.
that was a huge play to kind of give us momentum going into the half.
Put us ahead right before the half.
You know, going to Reeltown and that locker room setting, it's a smaller setting.
And there always was a divided line.
Their home locker room is connected and we both have to walk out the same gate.
The visitors go left, home team goes right.
Which adds even more, you know, complexity to the situation because you're side by side against the guy that you're going to play against.
And on each side of the sidewalk, you know, you had individual fans yelling and screaming.
And then coming back in halftime doing the same thing.
Coach Rose said, I didn't have to say nothing at halftime of this one. This one means a whole lot more to Waters and Jones than it did me. We were lighting them up at halftime about the effort and we ought to be winning.
Second half, it was our half. That was it. It's a wrap.
Then coming out the second half, that fatigue had kicked in.
And we kind of captured that momentum in the second half and ended up winning 37-20. It was closer than the scoreboard showed.
This game, he was better than the year before in 98.
I just remember it being a hard-hitting game, real physical.
Coach Waters and I knew how they were going to play.
Reeltown wanted to give us our first loss and everything. They played hard. It was a good game.
And we just so happened to lose the turnover battle of that game.
They held Justin, you know, pretty much in check.
We like to got to fight after the game on the field. One of the Reeltown players had pushed my quarterback. You touch one, you got to touch us all. Even after that game, they rocked our bus.
You won that game, and then you stood at our scoreboard. Another sign of disrespect. We owed it to beat Tallassee. I wasn't going to leave, you know, Reeltown High School.
If we could play with the best Tallassee team that had a chance to win a championship, then we could play with anybody in the state.
One thing I do remember about that year is I remember going to Tallassee and going to McDonald's all the time and seeing that Tallassee football there. They had, I think they're 13-1.